What's up, mi gente? Happy Black History Month. We're going to be celebrating today. This is your host, Andres, and I welcome you to Were You Listening? An exploration of blackness in the songs we love.
Alguien gritó de lejos, morena, venga pa' acá. Qué bello ese cabello, te queda espectacular. Entonces le dije...
Nosotros somos auténticos.
We are authentic. We are one. We are special. We are unique. So live proudly of your race. Be yourself. Make your black race proud, because our black ancestors went through so much that we can be free today.
Today, we'll be listening to Color de Mi Raza, The Color of My Race, by AFRIKTAAL, composed by Alondra Ortiz Rivera. With this beautiful song, the Mixtape Podcast celebrates Black History Month together with our listeners in the US. Que viva la negritud! Let's celebrate our blackness. Were You Listening? Is a series of the Mixtape Podcast which aims to center the contribution of Black people and culture across Latin America and its diaspora through dance and music. This episode of the series accompanies the episode Tócame La Bomba, Play Bomba To Me of our second season. Give it a listen, you'll learn more about the wonderful and liberating evolution of bomba in Puerto Rico. Of course, I also want to remind you that if you want to practice your bilingual skills, mira, si tú quieres practicar, there is also a Spanish version of this episode. Así que ve y lo escucha en español también. Today's artist, Alondra Ortiz Rivera, is a bomba composer and singer with the music group AFRIKTAAL. And as you know, here in the Mixtape Podcast, we try to talk to the artists of the songs in the Were You Listening series. And we were fortunate to contact Alondra. Hola, Alondra. What a pleasure to have you with us at the Mixtape Podcast. Tell us a bit about yourself and your group. Alondra's answers are presented here in the voice of our co-host, Dr. Melissa Vilores.
Hola, mi nombre es Alondra Marie Ortiz Rivera.
Hi, my name is Alondra Marie Ortiz Rivera. I'm from Loíza, Puerto Rico. I live in the Villa Cañona in Loíza. I'm a singer, I'm a bomba cantadora, and I also work at the front desk of a bomba school. I started dancing Puerto Rican bomba when I was 5 years old. At 8, I started singing. I continued in the school group where I was at Celso González Vallan until I grew up. The group changed names and now it's called Belele. After that is what we came with the idea of creating AFRIKTAAL. AFRIKTAAL started on February 6, 2020. And as I mentioned before, we had left our previous group and we had a desire of continuing making Puerto Rican music and continuing sharing experiences with the people that we know. And that's when the idea of creating the group AFRIKTAAL comes about. It's been a little over 3 years since we started. AFRIKTAAL means African language. Later, when we created the group logo, we added the sign of life, the heartbeats. You can see them from behind the logo letters. It was then that we gave it the full meaning, which is the African language remains alive, with the signs of the heartbeats.
Now you know, AFRIKTAAL. Go find their music, which is great. Okay, today's song and artist were recommended to us by another artist, the Puerto Rican bombera Mar Cruz. Un saludo grande, Mar. Mar told us wonders about the song and about Alondra. The song, titled Color de Mi Raza, The Color of My Race, it's a beautiful message of reaffirmation of our blackness, questioning the ways in which society tries to hide our blackness, to make it opaque, and to diminish its value. Let's listen.
Alguien gritó de lejos, morena, venga pa' acá. Qué bello ese cabello, te queda espectacular.
Alguien gritó de lejos, Morena, venga pa' acá. Qué bello ese cabello, te queda espectacular.
Someone yelled from afar, Morena, come over here. What beautiful hair. It looks spectacular on you.
Alondra, why did you decide to start the song with a person praising black hair?
Decido comenzar la canción con el elogio al cabello, pues porque
I decided to start the song with the praise of hair because for all our lives they've hidden us. They've hidden our Afro-descendant roots. The social standards, the social beauty standards, have put a lot in the heads of us Puerto Ricans that our hair is bad, that our hair is unkempt. And in one form or another, that has reached the mind of the people, and they have believed it. And really, it's not like that. Our hair isn't bad. It's not unkempt. Our hair is unique. I mean, not everyone's hair is the same. There's diversity of hair as there is diversity of people. And I believe that it's very important that we accept how we are and what we have. So that is part of the reason for the song. Because if we don't accept what we have, our hair, our beliefs, what we are, people are not going to see what we really are because we don't accept that ourselves. That's why I hammer on the topic of hair. Because our hair is beautiful. It's precious.
Entonces le dije gracias, muy amable es usted. Quiero corregirle algo, espero lo tome a bien.
Entonces le dije gracias, muy amable es usted. Quiero corregirle algo y espero lo tome a bien.
I said, thank you. You're very kind. I do want to correct something, and I hope you know I mean well.
And what has been your experience with people accepting black hair in Puerto Rico?
Pues mira, mi mayor experiencia, mi mamá.
Well, my greatest experience is with my mom. She always straightened her hair, and a few months ago, she cut it completely because she wanted to let her natural hair grow. So that was my greatest experience, to see that change out of nowhere because I always saw her with straight hair. I had never seen her natural hair, and a few months ago, she decided to make that change.
Okay, but now you have to tell us how is your mom, Doña Lisbeth Rivera, feeling about the change. Un saludo grande, Doña Lisbeth.
Se está sintiendo súper bien, te la puedo.
She's feeling really good. I can show her to you if you want, so that you can see how she is super happy with her hair. She keeps trying new looks.
Es que yo no soy morena, tampoco color café, orgullosamente negra, y así yo siempre seré.
Es que yo no soy morena, tampoco color café, orgullosamente negra y así yo siempre seré.
The thing is, I am not morena. I'm also not brown. I am proudly black, and forever will be.
What do you want to express here, Alondra? Why do you feel the need to make this clarification?
Realmente porque
Because, and it's sad to say this, but unfortunately, in Puerto Rico, racism really lives from within. Sometimes we don't even realize it. Many times, I have heard people in the community say to their own children, "You're not black, you're white." We're not white. We're a mix of indigenous, African, and Spanish. And those of us from Loíza, los Loiseños, have more black descent than Spanish. We are more indigenous and African. It's sad to see people out in the street that don't identify with who they truly are. They prefer to say that they're white to avoid being judged. Because nowadays, for your singing, for this turban I'm wearing, any place I go, they're going to judge me. And that is really why I've made it a point for people to understand not to call me morena, because my color is not brown. I'm black. If you're going to call me something, call me negra or call me by my name. It's very common here in Puerto Rico. They call you, hey morenita, hey canelita, prietita, trigueñita. And it's like, wait, you are minimizing and putting in diminutive what I am, my race, my identity. I am black. I am not brown or morenita or trigueñita or cinnamon color because that doesn't exist.
¿Por qué me dicen morena si ese no es mi color? Yo tengo una raza negra, de ello orgullosa estoy.
¿Por qué me dices morena si ese no es mi color? Yo tengo una raza negra y de ella orgullosa estoy.
Why do you call me morena if that's not my color? My race is black, and I am proud of it.
Talk to us about the pride that you feel of being black.
el orgullo es una conexión que no te puedo explicar.
The pride I feel is a connection I can't explain to you. Bomba, in one way or another, is a healer, and it gives you confidence It gives you a lot of self-assurance. I feel proud of my race for fights my ancestors sustained, for never giving up, and for always being willing to fight, as I say in part of the song. And also, I feel proud for them not giving up with so much mistreatment, so much suffering. I believe that is what moves me the most and what fills me with pride.
Negra de nacimiento, cantadora de corazón, porque vive en mí la raza. Negra yo negra soy.
Negra de nacimiento, cantadora de corazón, porque vive en mí la raza, negra yo negra soy.
Black since birth, singer from the heart, because the race lives inside me. Black. Black I am.
Here you declare with a strong emphasis that you are a singer from the heart. Tell us about Alondra, the singer from the heart.
Es bien curiosa porque, como te dije, comencé a los 8 años.
It's a very interesting thing because, as I told you, I started at 8 years old and I sang in that group that I mentioned. I wasn't given the opportunity to sing in an open space that here they call bate, a bomba bate. It's a space where a lot of people from different areas share without having to rehearse, without knowing each other, simply by knowing Puerto Rican bomba, the rhythms and techniques of bomba. We can play in the same space. So when I was little, I wasn't given the opportunity. I always sang on stages or in school performances and all that. I was able to sing in an open space as such 3 years ago when I left the group where I was, when I went out into the world and acquired other experiences of what is Puerto Rican culture and Puerto Rican bomba. I'm a singer from the heart because I do it with love. I do it with the greatest feeling. I do it genuinely. So that's what I want to express to the people, that I'm a singer from the heart because I sing with love and genuinely.
Yo tengo una raza negra y de ello orgullosa estoy, de mis ancestros africanos y del sonido de mi tambor.
Yo tengo una raza negra, y de ella orgullosa estoy, de mis ancestros africanos y del sonido de mi tambor.
My race is black, and I'm proud of it, of my African ancestors, and the sound of the drums.
Just like you, to me, the sound of the drums is something sacred. It's the beating of the heart. It's the vibration of our existence. What does the sound of the drums mean to you?
El sonido del tambor es vida. Es vida.
The sound of the drum is life. The drum has part of a tree. It has goat skin. It has the hands of its craftsmen. There are lives planted there, and when our musicians play, it's life. So for me, the sound of the drum is an ancestral call. It's something that connects the past with the future. It's that echo that was heard sometime many years ago and continues to resound today in that resistance. So above everything, for me, the sound of the drum is life.
Tengo una raza pura, guerrera y con pasión, que levantaron pie de lucha y defendieron nuestro color.
The race I have is pure, a race of warriors and passion, who were ready to fight and who defended our color.
Here you seem to be talking about the courageous fights that our ancestors fought. However, thinking in present tense, what are the main battles that, in your opinion, Black people face in Puerto Rico today?
El racismo en todo el sentido de la palabra.
Racism, in every sense of the word. Not me in this case, but many people struggle with their racial identity. They are rejected because of their hair texture, because of their skin color, because of the shape of their lips, even because of how we think, how we dress, and what we wear. And even if some people think it's not real, racism in Puerto Rico is very strong and occurs constantly.
Yo tengo una raza negra, y de ella orgullosa estoy. ¿Por qué me dices morena, si ese no es mi color?
My race is black, and I am proud of it. Why do you call me morena, if that is not my color?
Mira y así, suavecito, ni nos dimos cuenta. Without us noticing, we're arriving to the end of the song. For people who listen to this composition of yours, Alondra, what message do you want them to get?
Yo quiero hacerle entender a la gente que
I want to make people understand that it doesn't matter what others say. We are authentic. We are one. We are special. We are unique. So live proudly of your race. Never, never, ever try to hide what you are for what that person says, or what they want to say, or what they're going to say. Be yourself. Make your Black race proud, because our Black ancestors went through so much that we can be free today. It's a message of acceptance. We accept what we are. We accept what we have, our roots, our heritage. Let's not hide anymore, because the reality is they have always tried to hide us, and they haven't been able to. So it's really identity, acceptance and identity. That is my message for the people.
Alguien gritó de lejos, morena, venga pa' acá. Qué bello ese cabello, te queda espectacular. Entonces le dije gracias.
What a beautiful song. It makes me so happy. This message about our blackness, so profoundly felt and so important, which Alondra expresses in the song, reminds me of the poem Negra Soy, I Am Black, by the Afro-Colombian writer Mari Grueso Romero, and it also reminds me of the song Me Gritaron Negra, They Yelled Negra at Me, if you will, by the Afro-Peruvian artist Victoria Santa Cruz. I really recommend both of these creations to you as well. You know what? Now that I think about it, I'm going to make a mental note to remember to make an episode about the song by Victoria Santa Cruz for the Where You Listening series.
Cantadora de corazón, porque vive en mi la raza. Negra yo negra soy, porque me dicen morena, si ese es mi color.
Alondra, you have been a bombera since you were little, desde chiquita. We cannot let you go without asking you what comes to your mind when you think about bomba.
wow, la bomba es comunidad, la bomba para mí.
Wow. Bomba is community. Bomba for me, it's union, familiarity. In Bomba, I have made tremendous friendships. I've had the greatest experiences. I have lived super exciting experiences. When I hear the word, or rather, when I feel the bomba, Puerto Rican bomba, because bomba you feel in many ways, it gives me life. It gives me a sensation that I can't explain. It's something like, it's funny what I'm going to say here, because look, when I used to listen to bomba drums, and this doesn't happen much to me anymore, but when I used to listen to bomba drums, I used to feel something coming up through my feet, and I had to run to the bathroom. I had to. It was like, I have to go now because otherwise I'm just going to pee myself. It's so much emotion that it's unexplainable. It's something so beautiful, something genuine with yourself. When I'm in bomba, I'm in a struggle with myself. We don't struggle with others, we struggle with ourselves. And I believe that is what is most important in bomba.
Porque me dicen morena, si ese no es mi color. Yo tengo una raza negra y es que de ella orgullosa estoy.
Okay, now the last question for real, la del estribo, and we'll let you go. Can we bother you to sing a little bit of the song for the audience of the Mixtape Podcast?
Claro que sí. Dice, alguien gritó de lejos, morena, venga pa' acá. Qué bello ese cabello, te queda espectacular. Entonces le dije, gracias, muy amable es usted. Quiero corregirle algo y espero lo tome bien. Es que yo no soy morena, tampoco color café, orgullosamente negra, y así yo siempre seré.
Pero que de ella orgullosa estoy. Y de ella orgullosa estoy. Porque me dicen morena. Y de ella orgullosa estoy.
Alondra, thank you very, very much for taking the time to talk to us and for sharing your experiences and your beautiful voice with us. What beautiful gifts life gives us sometimes, right? And I also want to thank the Mixtape Podcast team, my co-host Dr. Melissa Velodes, who edited this episode, Susan Maicalcio, who creates the graphics for the episodes, and Marisa Melchiorre, who translated Alondra's interview to English. And to our audience, thank you so much for being here with us today. I'm your host, Andres Hincapié, and if you weren't listening, now you are. And happy Black History Month! Woo!
Thanks for listening to today's episode. To listen to the song featured in this episode and songs featured in other episodes, check out the Were You Listening playlist, which can be found at our website, tarheels.live/mixtape podcast. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at mixtape.podcast, as well as Twitter and YouTube, which are easily accessed through our website. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for all our new episodes. Have any suggestions, questions, or comments? Email us at themixtapepodcast@gmail.com. You can also send audio clips of your reflections to the content to be featured on our episode. This episode is sponsored in part by the Orange County Arts Commission. Thanks for listening. This is Mixtape.